Okay, Deanne says, do you believe that Bigfoot is what the Native Americans call the Skinwalker? I can only base my answers on what I have learned about the Skinwalkers from interviews with Native Americans and so forth. And I had a real good interview one time with a lady, and I'm not going to mention her name because I don't want to get her in trouble if that's the way it is. But so I kind of talked to her about skinwalkers, and she tells me that skinwalkers are basically medicine men that have gone to the black arts. Okay, they're not good. Skinwalkers are basically taught the trade. They learn, or they go in training to become one. Okay, it's not you know, they're not born that way or anything like that. This is a life that they choose. Legend says that they can change into any animal, and they wear like coyote skins over their head and their shoulders and stuff like that to kind of aid in the transformation or whatever. Or maybe it's just fear factor. I don't know. But if you see a skinwalker, it's not good, and you could be in danger. Skinwalkers, the requirements to become a skinwalker is not good, and I'm not going to tell you what the requirements are because it's not good. Bigfoot does not seem to be involved with any black arts. Bigfoot doesn't seem to be that aggressive. I have run into a couple of aggressive ones, but that's because I kind of violated their space. They might have thought I was endangering their young or whatever, or cutting them off from a retreat. That was my fault. Okay. I try not to do that, by the way. Alright, so that gives you a little bit of idea of what I know about skinwalkers. Not very much. Rockability says, do I feel that I have enough information about Bigfoot? The answer is no, I don't. I feel information about them will save them in the long run. The reason being is the proliferation of man will not cease unless we destroy ourselves. Not likely to happen. Could happen, but not likely. This means that as time goes on, Bigfoot's going to get squeezed more and more in their habitat and in their food and their resources and stuff like that. And eventually, what's going to happen is they're going to die out. They're going to disappear. Unless we start learning about them and start doing something for them. Now, I'm saying for them, not to them, for them. Okay? By knowing their requirements, their needs, and understanding them and why they do what they do, maybe we will be able to help them. You know, I'm not talking about civilizing them and bringing them into our world. I'm talking about us doing something for their world. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that we need to set aside all the national forests and stuff as Bigfoot territory. No, but we need some kind of education process that so when you get out there and you come upon a Bigfoot, you don't pull your gun and shoot them, or that you're not that afraid of them, or something like that. And I will say, if Bigfoot was a real danger, I probably wouldn't be here. They've had plenty of opportunity to get me. You know, I could have just disappeared, and I'm still here. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. We need to know their requirements, their needs, and we need to understand them, or they will die out or be wiped out. Okay. This is one reason why I started the Bigfoot Garden of Eden project. What I'm trying to do with this project is to provide them more food. I don't want to go down to the local store and buy a bunch of food and go leave it in the forest. No, I want to make it to where they can handle it and they can do it themselves. So I basically identify abandoned apple orchards from early pioneers or something like that that's still there, and the apple trees are still growing, or something like that. And I go in and I take care of those apple trees. I prune them, I fertilize them, and stuff like that, so that they will lay down more fruit. The seeds will propagate by the animals eating the fruit and then pooping it out somewhere else. So basically, we have more food growing for them. So I do apple trees, pear trees, try to take care of the berry bushes, the wild grapes, stuff like that. I used to think that I could grab some seeds and go out and throw them out and have watermelons or pumpkins or something like that grow, but that doesn't happen. What you find out is before the plant gets that big, it's gone. There's too many munchers out there. The deer, the raccoons, everything will eat a little seedling, even little seedling trees. And that's why I don't go scatter apple seeds on their own. I try to start the starts and get some seedlings up about foot and a half before I take them out and plant them, so they have a better chance of survival. And so I'm trying not to put them on welfare. I'm trying to make it to where they have enough food in dire circumstances that they can not only survive, but they can thrive. And thriving is different than survival. Survival is just staying alive. Thriving is being able to have a family, to grow little ones, to propagate your species, to be happy, stuff like that. So I want them to be able to thrive. The only reason why I leave them treats is because I'm trying to make friends with them. Alright, I'm trying to get them used to me, to where the guy or the guys in the red shirts are not the bad guys. Okay? Too many people go out in the forest dressed in camels, disguising their scent, run around at night hooping and hollering and all kinds of stuff like that. And basically you're just telling the Bigfoot where you're at. So, they have their choice. They can either leave or watch you. Well, if you're acting like a predator, they don't want anything to do with you. So you try to tweak their interests so that they'll come in and look at you. Alright? The next question that he had was, would you like it if somebody came into your home with a video camera and studied me and my family? Well, this is kind of bogus because, aren't we all, every action that we make and everything we do, is not that being studied right now? Isn't everything being analyzed? Perhaps corporate Big Brother and the government know more about you than you do you. So, kind of a bogus question, but I can understand where they're coming from. The question is, do I feel like I'm barging in on them and being a nuisance to them? That's not my goal. Like I said, I don't act like a predator. I don't chase them. I don't break down their door to harass them. And basically, I try to tweak their curiosity to have them come to me. I don't chase them, okay? In fact, there's been some comments on YouTube. Well, you gave up so easy. You just run up the hill. And no, I don't chase them. I don't chase them on purpose. I basically want them to go, he didn't chase me. Okay, well, what's he up to? So maybe they'll swing around and come over and pop over a hill and watch me or something like that, So chasing them, doesn't work. So, if we do nothing to learn about them and study them and so forth, then they'll disappear. They'll be gone forever. because nobody will state their case. Okay? Bigfoot only wants to be left alone. Am I too obsessive? Like I said, it's on their terms. I don't chase them. If they want to come back and look at me and watch me in my camp and eat my goodies and stuff like that, that's up to them. In fact, we kind of have an arrangement, and I don't know if I want to tell you all this much about it, but I have a meadow in which where most of them live, and there's a big stump out in the middle of it, and I go out there to that big stump and I leave them some goodies, and then I'll make a nuisance of myself just so that they'll know that I'm there. Okay, so I'll scream and I'll yell and I'll beat on trees and stuff like that, and make sure that they know there's goodies on the offering stump, and then I leave. Now this is a no-trick zone. I don't put cameras up on this zone. I don't try to trick them in any way. This is for them, okay? And generally speaking, about 11 o'clock to about 3 in the morning, I'll get visitors down in my camp. And so, no, did I chase into their living room and start filming them and stuff? No, they came to me. All right, I invited, they came. It's a big difference. Okay. Unfortunately, we do not live in a static fantasy world where the Bigfoot can be left alone in the forest and live in peace forever. Piece by piece, the forest is going to disappear. We may be able to postpone it by declaring national parks and wilderness areas and stuff like that, but piece by piece, it's going to go away. And if nothing else, we will burn it up. I mean, what's happening here in Arizona is we get a massive forest fire in one of our forests, and we're limited to our forest area. They burn down a large section of it, okay? Well, nobody likes to go camp in a burned out stick forest, okay? So what's going to happen? Well, for the next 10-15 years, that area is not going to get used, and basically those campers and humans and stuff will move to the next green area, and they'll start camping there, and lo and behold, one of them will start another fire, and it'll burn down another section of forest. So right now, you know, it's kind of working to our advantage in a way, and in a way it's not. It's condensing the Bigfoot here in Arizona because we don't have that much forest. There's not that much room for them to escape without going into the desert. So they're kind of trapped right now, and which gives us some unique opportunities to try to help them out. Okay, now I'm not talking about trying to civilize them and bring them into our world, but I want to serve them and have an understanding of them. If no one presents Bigfoot's case and we ignore them, thinking that they just want to be left alone, well, they'll disappear. So, and I'm not talking about poof, vanished. I'm talking about dead, gone. Okay. And then it comes down to when Bigfoot is finally recognized by science and the civilian world, who will study them? Okay. I would rather it would be somebody like me that's trying to understand them and willing to put in the time and research and stuff like that, than I would having the scientific, academic, or government world study them. Because you know how they study them. So, you're talking about, let's take a species or two or three or four so that we can study them better, put them in captivity, maybe a zoo or something like that, No, there's better ways of doing it, and we need to do it naturally in the forest, okay? Do it on their terms, not ours.